A very good morning to everyone. Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace. And today's session is really going to be very special because we have taken a new initiative of discussing a part of the Hindu editorial every day. That is from 1st of February, we will be discussing any article from the Hindu editorial. So today is a discussion of the Hindu editorial. So get ready, we'll start the session soon. Let us see how many people have joined. Okay. So let me tell you that please listen to this very carefully, okay? We have taken this new initiative in order to enhance the command over English language for all the students, whoever are watching the channel. Fine. Plus, not only live chat, you can also leave your comments in the comment section indicating what changes or what feedback do you want from your end in this particular session. So after the session is over or during the session itself, you can share your feedback in the comment box. That is for sure you have to do. I'll accept all the feedback that is required. So the session is about the Hindu editorial. So let us start this discussion today. So it is like thorough discussion of the editorial, February 1. Before we proceed, let me tell you that I took a part of the editorial and I selected 20 words out of them. 20 words out of the words that were given in the editorial. We will first go with the word meaning and description of the words. Then we will move to the passage. Sendil Kumar, good morning. Very good morning. You are the first person to come to comment, at least I should say. Very good. Very good morning. So let us start with the vocabulary that were a part of the editorial, the paragraph which we have taken. So let us start with the words. These words were there in the editorial. We will start with the words so that when we read the passage, it makes easy for us to understand the passage, right? Okay. Shankar Narayan, very good morning. So the first word for today is consummation. These are given in the passage. These are given in the passage. There are 20 words we will discuss. Then we'll move to the passage. I'll explain the passage to you, explain the parts of speech, and also solve 4 questions based on the comprehension. Have you understood the flow? First, the vocabulary of the passage. Then we'll solve the passage, understand the passage. Third, we'll solve 4 questions based on the passage. Is that fine? Madhu, good morning. Snekha Jayaraman, Ishu, okay, great. Let's start. So first word is consummation. Consummation means an accomplishment or achievement. Consummation means an accomplishment or achievement. So if you have done the consummation of something, it means you have achieved that thing. You have accomplished that thing. So consummation is basically accomplishment or achievement. You may note down the words or you may see the video later on also. So consummation means accomplishment or achievement. Next word comes is acquisition. Acquisition means the learning or developing of a skill, habit or quality, or acquiring something. If you develop the skill or a habit or a quality, that is known as acquisition. Other meaning can be acquisition means acquiring something or the learning or developing of a skill, habit or quality. Next word is arduous. Arduous means involving or requiring strenuous effort, difficult and tiring. So something which is arduous is very difficult. Very difficult to understand, very difficult to solve, very difficult to practice. That is known as arduous. Clear? Next is long haul flights. Long haul flights. So any flight longer than 7 tough, difficult and tiring. Long haul flights are any flight longer than 7 hours. Next word comes enthusiasm. You know the meaning? Intense and eager enjoyment, interest or approval. So if you have enthusiasm, you are very excited, eager, you enjoy your eagerness, that is enthusiasm. These are the parts of the paragraph which we are going to discuss, the editorial which we are going to discuss. So I think you have to bear with me, have some patience, we are continuing, right? Okay, next is iconic. Iconic means relating to or of the nature of an icon. Who is an icon? Suppose a very great person, Nelson Mandela, he was an icon. Ratan Tata is an icon. So these are iconic personalities. Getting my point? Okay. Next is hiatus. Hiatus means a pause or break in continuity in a sequence or activity. So hiatus means a pause or break in continuity in a sequence or activity. That's known as hiatus. I think you've understood these 7 words. So let us move to the next segment, which has further more vocabulary. The next word is saddled. You understand it very well. Saddled means burden someone with an onerous responsibility or task. Onerous means boring or menial or boring. Okay, so saddled means burden someone with an onerous, boring and menial responsibility or task, or difficult task for that matter. Consolidating. Consolidating means make something physically stronger or more solid. So if I consolidate your knowledge, if right now I am consolidating your knowledge, it means I am strengthening your knowledge. I am making you more strong. I am making you stronger. Physically or mentally, I am consolidating you. Understood? Okay. Next is viability. Viability means ability to work successfully. See, all these words which I am discussing, I'll also discuss in the passage. But right now, I'm giving a brush up to you so that you can relate to the words when we go to the paragraph. Clear? Okay. Very good, students. Shweta, good morning. Okay. So viability means ability to work successfully. Then comes curb or curbs, a check or restraint on something. A check or restraint on something known as curbs. Next is constrained, which is appearing forced or overly controlled. So something which is constrained looks like forced or controlled. If there's something constrained, it means forced or controlled. Next word is establish a foothold. A strong position, first position in the market, industry, etc., from which further progress can be made. Establish, gain or get a foothold. So if you establish a foothold, you get a strong position in the market, industry, from which further progress can be made. Next is culmination, which means the highest or climactic point of something, especially as attained after a long time. So if something reaches, suppose you are acquiring knowledge, right? So there can't be a culmination of knowledge, because knowledge is infinite. So, but if we say in my Amitabh Bachchan or Vijay, they have acquired the culmination of their acting skills. So they are at the highest point. Getting my point? Okay. Next, the last 7 words, the last 6 words, then we'll move to the passage. Please don't go away. Stay. Okay? I write the word stay. Stay here. Don't go away, because we'll go to the passage. Okay. Predominantly means mainly, for the most part. Lucrative means producing a great deal of profit. Lucrative means producing a great deal of profit. Wanted means praised or boasted about, especially in an excessive way. So something which is wanted, VAUNTED, which is praised highly in an excessive way. Next is curtailment, which means the action or fact of reducing or restricting something. That's known as curtailing. Normalcy means the quality of being normal, usual, and bilateral means involving 2 parties, especially countries. Now students, let us move ahead to the passage. So this is the passage for today, turbulence ahead. So we'll discuss the passage. So the passage is all about the Tata Group's acquisition of the Air India. So we'll start the passage. The Tata Group's consummation. What's the meaning of consummation? Tell me the meaning. Please answer in the group. Consummation means achievement or accomplishment. See how beneficial this process is. If we learn the words previously only, our lives become easier, right? So Tata Group's consummation of its acquisition of Air India last week marks both the culmination of the airline's return to its original founders after an almost 7-decade hiatus. Let us discuss till this part. So what does this part say? The Tata Group's acquisition, the achievement of acquisition means acquiring of Air India last week Marks. Marks means what? Marks means tells us. Tells us or shows. So the Tata Group's achievement of its acquiring of Air India last week shows both the culmination of the airline's return. Culmination means the highest point. Of what? Of the airline's return to its original founders. So who is the original founder now? The Tatas. The Tatas. After an almost 7-decade hiatus. Hiatus means what? Break in continuity. So after 7-decade hiatus, this is the first time it has returned to its original founders. As well as the start of an arduous long-haul flight for the loss-making, formerly state-owned flag carrier. Very good sentence. Hindu is the best, I'm telling you. Hindu is the best. Why? I'll tell you. First, we have understood the first line till hiatus. What has happened is Tata Group has become successful in acquiring Air India last week, and that shows that the culmination of the highest point of airline's return to its original founders after an almost 7-decade hiatus. Hiatus means break in continuity, as well as it shows two things, as well as the start of means the initiation of a very difficult long haul flight. Long haul flight here does not mean 7 hours flight. It means something which will take some time. Flight for the loss making, formerly state owned flag carrier. What is flag carrier? Airlines are known as flag carriers. So initially Air India was owned by the state. State here means the country, the nation, the central. Okay. The Tata's enthusiasm means eagerness, enjoyment, eagerness. The Tata's enthusiasm for winning back what was once country's iconic airline. Sometimes ago it was like an icon. What was an icon? Airline brand. Which brand? The Air India. The Tata's enthusiasm for winning back what was once country's iconic airline brand, notwithstanding. What's the meaning of notwithstanding? In spite of. So in spite of the Tata's enthusiasm, yeah, I will note the part of speech, don't worry. Think great, I'll note the part of speech, okay. So the Tata's enthusiasm for winning back what was once country iconic airline brand, in spite of the fact that the Tata's enthusiasm for winning back what was once country's iconic, like an icon, airline brand, the skies in which the industry operates have changed considerably. What is the meaning of this particular statement? Skies in which the industry operates. This is a question in the comprehension section. So I've also designed some comprehension related to this. Don't worry. So a look at the market share data from the domestic air passenger segment. Segment clearly shows that budget or low cost flights now hold a dominant position. So what it's saying is the skies, the environment in which the industry operates has changed. Unlike it was earlier. And a look at the market share data from the domestic air passenger segment shows that the budget or low cost flights now hold a dominant position. Low cost airlines and domestic airlines now hold a dominant position, commanding about 4/5 of the market. Understood? 4/5 of the market. The Tata Group's full service venture Vistara is Tata Group's full service venture with no less a partner than Singapore Airlines. Okay, we'll mark this, with no less a partner than Singapore. So it means that the Tata Group's full service venture Vistara, which has a very good partner called Singapore Airlines on board. On board means which is a part of the team. So Vistara team has Singapore Airlines. Still, it has struggled to establish a foothold, and with Air India's addition, it means that the Tata Group's full service venture Vistara, which has a very good partner called Singapore Airlines on board means as a team, has struggled to establish a foothold. Foothold means what? A position. And with Air India's addition, and after that Vistara plus Air India. So Vistara plus Air India. The Tatas find themselves saddled. Saddled means what? Overburdened. Overburdened. Overburdened with a bulk of their combined domestic market share of 23%. So what has happened is Vistara plus Air India, which makes it like 23% of the total domestic market, being in the less in demand full service segment. So still it is in the full service segment, it is just less in demand, although it has 23% market share. All those students who are asking for part of speech, I will discuss that, don't worry. Okay, next. Nor is the group's newly combined share from a low cost segment, okay, one thing it has said that low cost and economy class airlines have stronghold. Nor is the group's newly combined new groups. What is this groups? This is Tata Group. Nor is the group's newly combined share from low cost segment comprising Air Asia's 5.9%. See, please understand this. Nor is the group's newly combined share from the low cost segment. So Tata Group has a combined share from the low cost segment, which combines Air Asia India 5.9%. It has the stronghold, it has the sharehold, and the fractional share at Air India Express. So Air India has further subdivision called Air India Express. So this has significant enough at the moment to give it a scale in high volume business. So what it's saying is, please understand this. One thing is for sure, Tatas are not playing on the economy level domestic airlines. Plus the group's newly combined share from low cost segment comprising Air Asia India's 5.9% acquisition has been done, and the fractional share that Air India Express has, there's some share of Air India Express, significant enough at the moment to give it a high scale, its scale in high volume business. So Air India Express is sufficient to give high volume business. That is the only gist we have. That the group is said to be considering consolidating Air India's domestic low cost services. So Tata Group is considering consolidating, means strengthening. Strengthening means to make strong, to make solid. So the group is said to be considering consolidating Air India's domestic low cost services. So domestic low cost services will be strengthened by whom? The Tata Group. Okay, with Air Asia India's operations is a clear indication that the Tata bosses realize the need to optimize the varied aviation resources that are now in the group's fold so as to enhance viability. Now let me make it very clear. From here to here. I'll explain this. The group means the Tata Group. Whenever we talk about the group, it is the Tata Group. It is said that they will consider strengthening Air India's domestic low cost services with Air Asia India's operations. And this shows that it is a clear indication which shows that maximum profit. This is known as optimization. Optimize the varied aviation resources that are now in the group's fold so to enhance viability. Viability means what? Practicability that can be put into use. Okay. So moving ahead. On the international front too, Air India faces multiple challenges. Not the least of which is the government's current pandemic related curbs. Okay, wait here. On the international front also, Air India faces multiple challenges, not the least of which is the government's current pandemic related curbs. So because of the current pandemic curbs means what? Restrictions, restraints, restrictions. So there are current restrictions are there, pandemic related restrictions on commercial international flights. So it is not the least of which is government. So there are multiple other issues, multiple other challenges. And out of that, very small part is current pandemic related restrictions on commercial international flights, with foreign carriers restricted to limited capacity, with foreign carriers restricted to limited capacity, because because of the COVID pandemic, the government has made it compulsory to make limited traffic in the international flights. Okay, so restricted limited capacity. So under the air transport bubble. What is air transport bubble? I'll tell you. So government has signed contracts with India, has signed contracts with various other countries, so that only limited number of flights can take place between the two countries. Not all flights are allowed to move from one country to another. Only some countries who have made the agreement can allow flights to go and come to and fro. That is known as air transport bubble arrangement. You must be knowing it better than I do. Okay. So with foreign carriers restricted to limited capacity under the air transport bubbles arrangement, Air India too has found itself constrained in the number of overseas flights it can operate under the bilateral arrangements with counterpart countries. Okay. So what has happened is this air transport bubble is there. So Air India has found itself constrained, limited in the number of overseas flights it can operate under the bilateral arrangement. Bilateral means what? Two-way arrangement with counterpart countries. Okay. Counterpart means, just for example, I am allowing flights to go and some other countries allowing flights to come. So that's a bilateral arrangement, both ways. Okay. The Tatas though could use the current curtailment of overseas services as an opportunity to undertake a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience. Okay, well, let me explain this part. The Tatas though could use the current curtailment means cutting, reducing, of overseas services as an opportunity to take a long overdue overhaul. What is overhaul? Overhaul means examination, perusal, known as overhaul. So a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience. So what has happened is, because government has caused restrictions, so what Air India has gotten opportunities, the Tatas have got an opportunity to feel what is the in-flight experience of Air India. They've got some opportunity there, they've got some chance, they've got some time to overhaul, to examine, to peruse. Also with Vistara now operating to a few select overseas destinations. So Vistara is going only to few overseas destinations. Vistara is a different brand of Tatas. One is Air India newly acquired, one is Vistara. The Tatas will need to decide if they would want a younger in-house competitor to Air India once COVID-19 restrictions are lifted and normalcy. Normalcy means what? The quality of being normal restored as regards international flights. Okay, what does it mean? So Tatas have decided that as Vistara is now operating to a few select overseas destinations, the Tata will need to decide if they want a younger in-house competitor to Air India. So what's the in-house competitor? Vistara. Once COVID-19 restrictions are lifted and normalcy is restored as regards to international flights. For the Tata Group, the choices going forward will need to be strategic. So Tata Group has to decide, okay, we'll discuss the parts of speech as well. But before that, let me make the passage clear. Tata Group has two choices. Whether it will go with this, whether it has to be strategic in deciding whether Vistara can be a younger in-house competitor to Air India. Clear? Okay, now the last part of the passage. With the domestic market set to see more churn. What's the meaning of churn? Churn is like you stir the cow's milk to the curd to make makhan. Makhan, you understand? What's makhan? Butter. Okay. So when you stir the curd, it turns out to be a butter. Okay. So when the domestic market set to see more churn, with at least one new budget airline set to enter and other rivals struggling for capital, the group needs to decide whether it wants to add capacity to budget offerings or stay predominantly full service carrier. Wait. Okay. So what is happening is the domestic market is set to see more stirring. S-T-I-R, stir. Stir means churning. Churning means churning the curd with this like this and making butter. With the least, at least one new budget airline set to enter the other rivals struggling for capital. What is that one new budget airline? That is Air India. The group needs to decide whether it wants to add capacity to budget offerings, whether it will add some more fund into the budget offerings, or stay a predominantly full service carrier at a time when the more lucrative business class. What is more lucrative? Lucrative means attractive. Attractive in terms of finances, which makes profit. Okay. Okay. Lucrative business class travel has been hit. So what has happened is business class is very lucrative, but because of COVID pandemic, it has been badly hit. So the Tatas have to decide whether they want to add capacity to budget offerings, whatever budget they are offering, whether they will pump the fund into that, or they will stay predominantly full service carrier at a time when more lucrative business class. So at a time when more attractive business class travel has been hit badly by COVID, and with aviation fuel costs set to be soar further. And what is saying is, what the author is saying? Author is saying that the aviation fuel cost will increase further. So Air India will need to tap into all of the Tata Group's wanted managerial expertise. So Air India will need to tap into all of the Tata's Group's wanted managerial expertise. Wanted means boasted. Boasted. Managerial expertise if it is to turn into successful buy. So if Air India has to turn into a successful buy, BUY buy, it has to tap into all of the Tata's Group wanted managerial expertise. It has to be friendly with. Tap into means what? Friendly with all of the Tata Group's wanted. Wanted means boasted managerial expertise if it has to turn into a successful buy. So students, after a lot of hard work and lot of perspiration, lot of sweat, I have completed this passage. Now let us move to the questions. Then I'll come back and discuss the parts of speech. So the question is, Air India will need to tap into all of the Tata's Group wanted managerial expertise. What's the meaning of tap into? Fatafat. Tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. What's the meaning of tap into? Students, please answer. Tap into. Air India will need to tap into all of the Tata's Group wanted managerial expertise. B is the correct answer. Very good. Who is it? Think great. Lindsay Merlin B. Kalishwari K B. B is the Sankara Narayanan B. B is the correct answer. So that's what has been said in the passage. Air India will need to tap into means be friendly with Tata Group's boasted managerial expertise. Okay. Very good, Shankara. Shankara Narayanan, very good. B, everyone. Bala is also saying B. That's correct. Okay. Now let us move to the question number 2. The skies in which the industry operates have changed considerably. What does this statement imply? Tell me the answer. The skies in which the industry operates have changed considerably. What does this statement imply? Anyone? Anyone would like to answer this question? Question number 2. The skies in which the industry operates have changed considerably. A. Very good. Shankara Narayanan, exceptional. Very good. The business environment has changed a lot. Skies in which I already described it to you, right? Karthik L. Very good. A is the correct answer. Yeah, Sendil Kumar trying for sir. Okay, sorry. Fine. So after I'm explaining the passage to you, you need to remember all the points, right? Question number 3. At least 5 people will give the answer, then I'll tell the answer. 5 people. With no less a partner than Singapore Airlines on board has struggled to, what does this statement imply? 5 people answer, 5 people. with no lesser partner than Singapore Airlines on board, has struggled to. What does this statement imply? Okay. Correct answer. Very good. 3C. Now the last question for today. Fourth one. To undertake a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience. What does the author mean by this statement? To undertake a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience. What does the author mean by this statement? Question number 4. 4 number question. For C. Shibi Vasudevan A. Think great is right, I guess. D is the correct answer. A and C both. Because to undertake a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience means to execute a long forgotten perusal. What's the meaning of perusal? Means examination. Examination of the in-flight experience. So it was forgotten. Long overdue means what? Long forgotten. And C is also written to accept that the restrictions have given them a chance to examine the in-flight. Because the restrictions were there, so it has given them a chance to, Tatas to examine the in-flight experience. Okay, so A and C both is the correct answer. I'm not mentioned in-flight experience over here. That's understood. You understand this, please. Okay. 8 Bhuvana, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Okay. So students, before we proceed, let's discuss the part of speech method. Somebody was asking the part of speech method, right? Okay. Think great asks parts of speech. First, I will do it very fast, so be ready for that kind of pain. You please reply. Have you understood the passage, students? Have you understood the passage? Okay, great. Think great says yes. Okay, thank you so much. So before I tell some parts of speech methods to you, let me request you to write in the comment box, not on the live chat, right? After the session is over, write in the comment box whatever feedback you want to give, so that we can work on that and improvise and improve. Please give your feedback in the comment box, not the live chat, please. In the comment box after the session is over. I need everybody's feedbacks so that we can improve and help you better. Please understand this. We want to help you. The Veranda Race channel wants to help you. Clear? Okay. So, consummation of its acquisition. See, the structure is noun plus preposition plus noun. This structure is very popular structure. You can understand consummation is a noun because TION is there. Consummation means achievement, accomplishment of its acquisition. So the structure is noun plus preposition plus noun. This is the structure over here. Again, if we see this particular airline's return, this is possessive case, so it is a noun. Now return is a noun, not a verb. Culmination, I'll not explain everything, I'm telling you, because in one class I cannot explain everything. So culmination means what? The highest point of something. So it is a noun, culmination is a noun. Again, if we talk about Tata's enthusiasm, Tata is what? Possessive case. So enthusiasm is what? Enthusiasm means eagerness, eagerness. So definitely a possessive case is followed by a noun itself. Okay. Again, if we talk about iconic airline brand is a noun. So iconic is an adjective. It's an adjective. Clear? It's an adjective. If we talk about establish a foothold, so establish is a verb because it's preceded by to establish. It's an infinitive, and a foothold is a noun because infinitives are generally followed by a noun. Clear? And they find themselves saddled with a bus. So it's a phrasal verb, not a phrasal verb. Word followed by preposition. So saddled with means overburdened with. Overburdened with. Okay, long haul you are saying. Okay, arduous long haul flight. Very good question. Very good question actually. So long haul already means an adjective. You understand this? So if we say long haul flight, actually this is the compound noun. Let me tell you, long haul flight is a compound noun. Although I have not mentioned over here as a dash, if you go in the Microsoft Word and the latest version, if you type long haul flight, you will take as a compound noun. So long haul flight can be assumed to be a compound noun. So before that, arduous adjective will take place. Think great, is it fine with you? Think great, is it fine with you? Long haul flight is considered to be a compound noun. Before that, we can consider arduous as an adjective. Yes, think great, tell me. Okay, now comes the next segment, which is the next part of the passage. Whoever has doubts, please ask me. Whoever has doubts, please ask me. See, this is a special structure. You can see over here, considering a consolidating. So you will say both are ing forms, right? Is that a good question or not? Is that a good question or not? Tell me. Considering, consolidating. Okay. So the question is consolidating, considering, consolidating. Okay, I'll explain this to you. That the group is said to be considering consolidating low cost services. So this is basically two plus B plus V4. Please understand this. Think great, please understand this. 2 plus B plus V4. This is known as present participle infinitive. For example, wait. I'll give you an example. Just wait. It's present participle adjective. Just a minute, students. I'm selecting the pen. Okay. He is claimed to be living in a cave. Claimed to be living in a cave. Please understand this. So, to be living is known as present participle infinitive. It's a different structure. Infinitive is 2 plus V1, 2 plus B plus V3. 2 plus V1 is what? To do, to laugh, to eat, to dance, to cry. 2 plus B plus V3, to be done. Everybody likes to be appreciated. This work is to be done. This work was to be done, is to be done. He likes to be appreciated. Then it comes, he is claimed to be living in a cave. To be living is what? Present participle infinitive. So you can see over here, to be considering. It's a present participle infinitive. And here it's followed by what? A noun. This is gerund. This is gerund. Okay, is it clear to you? Yeah. So students, I think I'll have to sign off for today. Better tomorrow at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 a.m. tomorrow. We will. Yes, noun plus ing. Correct. 8 a.m. tomorrow, every day for this month, except Sunday, we will have the Hindu discussion from 8 a.m. with all the word power, all the word powers, the passage itself, question answers, and with a big thank you. Please comment in the comment box to give some feedback. Thank you so much, students. Thank you for joining Veranda Race channel. Have a great day ahead. We'll meet very soon tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you so much.